I'm going to show you how to color paper that you can just print on your printer and cut however you would like. The first basic thing is we need to make sure that we have a piece of paper on our screen that's 8.5 by 11 that goes through the majority of printers. You can go bigger if you have a bigger printer. First and foremost, we're going to get us a piece of paper on our mat that's 8.5 by 11. In order to do that, we will go over here to the rectangle option, click on that, come back to your mat, and hold your mouse down and drag down to the right. As you can see, that's not 8.5 by 11. We need to fix that very easily. We'll go up here to the scale bar. We're going to highlight that, type in 8.5, hit the tab key, type in 11, and hit the enter key. As you can see, now it's automatically sized to what you could print 8.5 by 11 on a regular printer. Now we need to fill this with color and pattern. In order to do that, we need to make sure it's checked, it's highlighted, selected. So now we're going to go over here to our color palette and click on that. You can make it color if you want, but we want a pattern. So you click on this fill pattern option and click on that, and it comes up. I have a lot of different patterns in here. This time we're not really going to go through that. I want to show you what would normally be on your Silhouette program patterns when you buy it. So we're going to go up here and we're going to grab this one here and click, and it fills it in that pattern. And say, well, that's not bad, but you want to change it up a little bit. The options to change are down here. You can change the angle, as you can see, going that way. If you want it to go different, automatically 45 degrees or 180 degrees, etc., you can click those. The scale is what sizes it up or down in size of the pattern itself. There you can see it's very small. We can go the other direction. It doesn't want to go today. There we go. Go up and you can make it quite large. Let's bring it down just a little bit here. If this pattern had individual pieces, you would be able to move them around. I'm going to grab a different one. This one here. Oh, that's not exactly the one I wanted. Let's see. Whoops. Not too far. Back up here and we'll grab there. So now you've got these little, actually they look like little houses to me, but I think they're octagons or pentagons or hexagons or whatever they're called. So if we take that and we scale that up to large, and right, as you can see, this one does not scale up well. It gets a little fuzzy. But say you want this pattern here up here or changed, we're going to move it. So if we click on the pan, you go over to that little round circle, and then you can move it. Move it around, or say you don't want that one on there. That's what it's going to come up to be, like that. We're going to go back, and I want to go back to the one where we had the lines there, this one here, because I want to show you how we can change the color very easily, because we don't like those colors. We want something different. You can also make this so it's a little transparent. If you do the transparency, if you see, it fades away, and that's how it's going to print. It will print to where you can see the color will be very, very washed out. So we're going to go back up to this, but we want to change the color. Let's go down here to the image effects panel. This you can do a ton with. We'll click on that. Right now we just want a different color. We're going to click on the color palette option, and we're going to take this little lever here, we're going to slide it to the right, and you can see the colors are changing. There's purple. So that's what we want is purple. So we're going to apply that and say, oh geez, it's a little bit bright. We'd like to make it just a little less bright. So we can go on what looks like the sunshine, click on that, and we're going to downplay the brightness a little bit. Or we want it a little bit brighter. You can go a lot of different directions. You've got contrast, and then you've got saturation, how much color goes in. And see, you can, it's almost like a transparency there. So we'll apply that. So this would be your printed, this is what would print out. And I want to, now that's how you do it if you're going to use a fill pattern that's on your Silhouette software. I want a different pattern. So I'm going to go down here to my little folder. This is what's on my computer. I use in an external hard drive. I went to a file called Design Bundles, and I went to a file red and blue, and I found this one right here that I think is really pretty. You see it already, I've got it highlighted. I'm just going to left click, hold it, pull it down here, and release. And it has loaded, I'm going to make that small, loaded that pattern onto, it's filled the pattern that I like. I think that's really a pretty pattern. But it's a little bit big, so let's make it smaller. We're going to go back to the fill pattern option, click on that. And here's your advanced options. So the scale is at 83. Well, we want to reduce that down to about 48. So I'm going to go down there, right there. That's a nice pattern. And moving it around, making it an angle is not going to change it that much. But I do want a different color. So we're going to go to our image effects panel. We're going to click on colorize, and we're going to change the hue to a purple. There it is, right there. Isn't that pretty? It's very, very pretty. And we're going to apply that. So now that's the color it is. You can, move it all around. And so right now, your printer will print this. The color that you get when you print out depends upon your printer and the paper that you put it on. I found that the color is very pretty, but my printer doesn't really print exactly that same color. So I always want to get something close. So to print that, you're going to go up. You have to make sure a printer is connected to your computer in order to do this. And load the paper. I use Michael's Recollection 65-pound paper when I want to print paper to cut for various projects. But we're going to go up here and we're going to click on the printer. And if you have version 4.4 or higher, then you're going to get print preview. And it's automatic, you can't stop it, it will do it no matter what. So now we want to print. So you click on print, and this is what comes up with my printer. Yours may be a little bit different, but you want to be able to click on preferences to get the highest print out you can get. My quality is at high. So we're going to just cancel that. And I've already printed this, so I'll show you what mine does, what mine looks like. I don't know if it'll show up on there. Probably won't. This is what will come out of your printer. It'll look like that with probably, on most printers, it'll have a little white border around it. But I wouldn't worry about that. You're still going to get a large amount of print area for what you want. And you can use that for scrapbook pages, or you can cut out images from there, or cards, or etc. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick lesson and it helps you be able to print paper for whatever you want. Thanks.